Justice League number 16, Scott Snyder and James Tynion the fourth, co-writing with Jim Chung and Steven Segovia on art. So we didn't start with Starman this time. We just had that stuff at the end because they kind of intersect with the main plot. But we're on Thanagar. Prime Stuff is the end of this arc, and it's mainly an exposition issue with the Martian Keep.
Yeah.
Telling Jean tons of stuff.
But I liked a lot of what that exposition was saying in the grand scheme of the DCU. And I feel like if you look up other cultures and their creation myths, it's not outside. Nothing ever comes from nothing, right? Like, there's always something before. And so the fact that that's where Snyder and Tynion are going here to where what existed before what we know as the DCU, I like all of that.
Yeah, I like all of that stuff as well. I dislike all the stuff with Jean.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I like the idea that he was kind of saved because he was special.
And forgive me if I'm wrong. Like, wasn't he brought over as an adult? Right? Is he meant to? Because he looks an awful lot like a kid in that
panel. Yeah.
I assumed he was a kid there, and then he went back because they talk about time travel stuff, right, in that section. So I assumed that happened to him while he was a kid, and then they put him back on Mars for whatever reason. I don't know.
Yeah, so that's where I don't like that stuff at all.
So he was kidnapped as a kid. They used his DNA to make these monsters, and then presumably he ended up back at Mars. And it's like, oh, that's why you survived, because your time and they're meddling. You didn't die like everyone else did on Mars. And I was like, I don't know. It feels like it's retconning in this reason, and I hate when like one of my biggest pet peeves actually with storytelling, whether it be comics, TV shows, or whatever. I hate when they try and retcon new things into the backstory later. Like, especially when it comes to villains, which isn't necessarily the case here, although it maybe kind of is, depending on who abducted them and what they're going to do with that. But is, like, if you're going to build a new villain, just build a new villain. Have the villain become a threat in present day and build it from scratch, from the ground up. This trying to retcon things into the past to make it almost to, like, give it a kickstart where there's already history, so that you already have to care about it. It doesn't work. It never works for me.
Like, no, because... Like, I feel like when Johns pulls it off, when they call him the Jeff Con, right? When he does it, though, it is an actual point in that character's history where things can be changed, right? It's kind of his theory on time travel and Booster Gold is there are points that are calcified that you can't change no matter what you do, but there are other points that you can go and mold to what you can be. And that's fine, but here I just feel like they're taking a jackhammer to the calcified parts.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line for me with the retconning where there's a lot of things where I'm happy to see change here or there, whatever. We'll put that in. It's when it's a character that they need to be essential to be save the universe, but there has to be something in their past to do it.
Yeah, it just feels like forced.
That's the type of retcon I'm not that into. Yeah, and this is one of them.
I will say I do like the idea that they're setting up here. At least this is how I read it. That there's justice and there's doom on opposing sides, and that John is going to have to be the balance. Yeah, because he's in between both.
Because obviously Lex read it as just doom as the primary thing, and it's not. There's both, and the source wall kind of helped keep the doom out and the justice in.
Right.
But it has to be rebalanced, and Jean's going to have to be a big part of that.
Yeah.
That's fine. Like, I'm okay with that.
I thought, did I read right in the idea that humans and Martians were once the same species and they were like split apart, and it was it kind of sounds like, okay, you can tie this scientifically as a common ancestor, but this is going at a more like the faith-based angle.
I guess it is like they were the same species. I never necessarily read it scientifically as they're the same species. It was just because they said, what did they say?
Similar aspects.
Yeah,
they're saying they split them apart, didn't they?
Yeah, the physical, like, special abilities went to the Martians, but what was it went to the humans again?
Fire.
The physical fire, the passion.
The passion,
fire,
yeah. Because I knew it wasn't intelligent, because it's not like Martians are idiots. They're still quite intelligent.
No, I thought it was very a key use of fire, because Martians are obviously afraid of it.
Yeah,
so they fear fire. I mean, there's some interesting stuff in here. I do think the issue is a bit much of an exposition dump, though.
Yeah, I agree.
There's entire pages of that Martian Keep just with these giant thought bubbles, or speech bubbles, rather.
I did love the Green Lantern versus the Thanagar stuff because that's like prime man Thanagar
Yeah,
War.
which turns out that actually is
They were
Kilowog.
there.
That actually is
Yeah.
the core. Yeah.
And I love him talking shit to John. I was like, hey, next time you go do this, that's what we're here for. Like, call for backup, man. Like,
Yeah,
don't do it
even
yourself.
later when Shayra actually like makes more like
Yeah.
Thanagar warriors, like John, I hate you right now. I
Yeah.
hate you so much.
So good. I love Log. And also the stuff with Shayra and Kendra, and how whatever is going on split them for whatever reason, and that the aspect that is supposed to return and be reincarnated stayed with Shayra when it should have been passed to Kendra.
Yeah.
So now Kendra's also more whole. I like that because it's playing with what we're getting in Hawkman.
Yeah, I was okay with that.
And,
Yeah, I'm okay with
You
that.
know, so that was all cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff I liked in here, especially when Starman shows up and is like
Yeah, I like.
Deus Ex Machina Man.
Yeah,
Like,
someone actually pointed out the panel at the bottom of the page. It says, there are many broken things in the universe. It's time we started fixing them. Being hopeful that was talking about a lot of other things that we need fixing. And I don't think it necessarily is, but, you never know.
No.
Yeah. I thought the art switch was a lot more jarring this issue.
I
'cause
agree.
Technically, yes, it's still the Starman section.
But it's in the same place with Hawkgirl and everyone else.
It didn't work
Yeah.
at all for me on this one.
Because-
Because I got to that page, I was like, whoa.
Because
That's different.
just on that page alone, like John Stewart looks completely different than he did the page
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, and
Or
it's
two
not
pages
that it's
before.
bad art at all.
No. It's just
that it's jarringly different. It was fine before when there were two separate places across the universe, right?
Yeah, it doesn't complement Segovia well, and Segovia doesn't complement Chung.
No,
Yeah.
they don't. They don't have even remotely similar styles.
I know.
Segovia is very clean.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, you know.
And I have to be honest, I mean, if you're putting them two back to back, I wish Segovia just finished the book. Because
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've said on all these last few issues, I preferred Segovia.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
really impressed by Segovia's work on this. Actually, it's probably my favorite.
And I like where it leaves us with Thanagar as rebuilding,
yeah, do it genuinely, don't lie and
Yeah,
have a mirage
I
don't
up.
did
lie
like
about
seeing
it.
the ruins just in the background
Yeah.
of the place.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, I like where it's going, and we have the annual coming up, right? This week.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get a little bit more of that, and they're hinting at the multiverse. And,
Yeah, Shayra mentioned to Kendra that she read a map in her wings.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
she reacted to a few issues ago.
Yeah.
That was to a higher plane, was it?
Yeah, the higher plane of existence, and then the end of the book, Starman's like, we need to fix the source wall, and I assume fixing the source wall is going to lead to that's the issue, the Trinity thing.
Probably.
What you call
Yeah.
it? I forget what it's called now, but that's the issue arc that's coming up.
The sixth dimension, right?
There you go, that's the one, sixth dimension.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I thought the arches was a bit much. I thought the exposition was a bit much and clunky, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's
But
one of those
I
where
still liked what I read though. Like it was clunky, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the DC continuity wonk, history
Yeah.
nerd.
I'm
in
liking
me.
kind of the overall general direction of what we're doing. There's some stumbles in how it's been executed here or there.
it's one of those things where I want to criticize that. Yeah, it felt like it's a big exposition dump, but I don't have a recommendation of how they could have done this better with this information
Yeah, me neither.
in this situation. It's one of those, like, I don't know. I don't think there's a way to win this.
I don't know, less words. Just do it in less words. Condense it a bit.
Isn't that Snyder's always thing? Capullo,
Huh.
you're messing up my pictures with your words.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
quiet
So-
down, Snyder.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, come on now. This is Tynan's words.
True. Yeah, but Tynan learned from Snyder, so it's still his fault.
Yeah, exactly.
He did, but
But-
let's at least blame the right person.
But at least if you're gonna be like if that's your one thing, because any of the tie-in books that we've read, when it gets to these exposition dumps, it's always the ones that we have the most issues with, whether it's Justice League Dark or Tech or
It's
whatever.
the same with Snyder
like-
though. Like Snyder always has
Yeah.
that issue in the middle. It's the exposition dump, and it's like, oh,
Yeah. So at least they're consistent at what we don't like. Like, you know.
And to be fair, it was at the end this time rather than in the middle.
Yeah.
oh, there's only 3 issues.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the second issue.
Shut up. All right, well, what are you giving Justice League 16?
Yeah, this is a 7.5. I mostly enjoyed it.
Okay, Connor.
It's a 6. Too much exposition, art change. Didn't like the stuff with Jean, but I enjoy the overall direction.
I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I like the overall direction. I like some of the stuff that's going on. Art change, like you say, overall exposition. The Jean retconning's a little bit iffy right now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So it's kind of murky, but like there's enough good things in there. So I'm gonna say 6.5.